I think when guys are faced with something big and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really tough or whatever it is, like maybe you just lost your stuff, like your crap on your kids or whatever else. Instead of regrouping and instead of thinking it through, we quit. We're just like, well, forget everything. Because we're very extreme. We're just like, just screw it all. And we'll just like kind of give up. So like, I think that keeps us from giving up. All right, gents, welcome back to another father-son conversation here on the Dad Edge podcast. Ethan, what's up, brother?
Not much. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
That's good. That's a goody.
It's goody. You know, you and I have taken a couple weeks off, even though as the audience doesn't feel like we've taken any time off.
We're still pretty consistent for the audience.
Yeah, well, every week.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, actually, real quick, before we jump into... Actually, let me jump into today's show, for that way people know what we're doing here. So, guys, here's what we're doing today. Ethan and I are diving into one of the hardest muscles to build. It isn't our biceps. Right now, it's my legs.
Actually, it's my calves.
It's your calves? Okay.
My calves aren't very good.
What about your patience muscle? How's that doing?
It's been tested plenty of times.
Well, we're going to work it out today. Your patience is going to be so muscular.
I'm already too tired. I'm losing my patience from that voice.
Should I do the rest of the intro in that voice?
Please no.
I think I should.
No.
Maybe I should. Should I try it?
I think it's your show.
Okay. Not just patience we need for the world around us, right? Because there's traffic, there's kids, there's work, there's setbacks, but we also need patience for ourselves. So let's be real. The loudest critic isn't always out there. It is sometimes in our own head. So we're going to unpack both sides of it, both the internal patience and how we give ourselves grace when we mess up or fall short. And we're also going to be talking about the external patience and how we deal with life and when it doesn't move at our speed. You know, and sometimes you just need to get to the chopper if you want to go fast.
Put that cookie down.
Put the cookie down. But honestly, the thing is today isn't a lecture. It's an honest conversation between father and son about the daily grind, about how we can slow down, breathe, and grow stronger while waiting.
Yeah, that really tested my patience.
That tested my patience too, because I was like, how much longer am I going to talk like this?
Yeah, you annoyed yourself.
I really did. But here's what we're gonna deal with today. We're gonna talk about internal factors, and we're gonna talk about external factors. So internal factors are like, you know what? Just kind of give me like a 5 to 10 second just response as I say these things out loud. Just like, oh yeah, like that one, like just however it lands for you. So here's some internal factors.
Okay.
The self-criticism trap. This is how we beat ourselves up for not being further along.
Yeah, are you asking for like that?
Just like as you hear those words, just like a response of like, oh, or like, oh yeah, I don't have that problem.
Yes, I have that problem.
I think everybody does. Okay, so the internal. What about this one? Impatience with progress, wanting results now. Fitness, school, business, and relationships. I want it now.
That, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what you just said, basically with results lately for me has been progress in the gym, but I also am still learning every single day how to really know how to like actually track my progress.
Progress over perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to try and rush it. Like, I need to be big now. But no, that's not how that works. It takes a lot of patience because I've been lifting consistently ever since you and Mason did the bodybuilding show about 4 years ago. And
3,
4, whatever,
3.
Same thing.
It wasn't that long ago.
8, the up, down, left, right, 2 minutes, same thing.
But we're doing one next year, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to do one this year. We're gonna do one before you turn 20.
Yeah. If that's what we can do, then yeah.
No, I want to do it.
All right, we're gonna do it then.
Okay. All right. So there's that. I think we just nailed this one, but just simply recognizing that growth is sometimes slow. You know, small daily actions compound over time.
Oh yeah, that I have a hard time having patience with because I'm just like, oh, I just want it now.
Yeah.
What is it? Why does this need to take so long?
don't care how I want it now.
Are you on drugs today? What did you take?
Come on, man.
Is that the
That's from
diabolical overdrive?
no, that's from that's from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your attitude this episode so far.
What about this one?
What's that?
Um, Giving yourself grace, learning how to treat yourself like you're your own best friend.
I don't really do that to myself
No,
a
no,
whole lot.
most people don't.
Um, like
What?
I kind of give myself a little bit of grace whenever it comes to like something crazy, like, well, I have this and this has just happened. Then I'm like, okay, you can slow down a little bit, just to take a few steps back, so you don't hurt yourself or stress yourself out or something.
Well, that's good. Sometimes you need to slow down. Here's another big one: mistakes. Mistakes are
I make them every day.
a lot. Yeah, well, everybody does. But the thing is that most people don't really view mistakes as growth. They view it as like I'm
Terrible.
terrible, or I'm weak, or I'm worthless, or I'm not enough.
I think people have that. Sorry, what?
No, I was just say mistakes shape us.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, mistakes in the moment feel like that until you really look at the bigger picture of what it's really doing. But a lot of people have the problem, guilty, have the problem of giving up after so many mistakes
I would agree. I see this.
because they're not looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, I see this a lot. I actually all these things. Or here's the other one too: stories. Stories are a time when each of us lost our patience with ourselves and what we learned. So, you know, it's really interesting. I'm going to talk about the alliance here for a second. This is our dad community. This is our membership community. The self criticism trap, how we beat ourselves up for not being further along. Impatience with progress. That's number two. Wanting results now. Fitness, school, business, relationships. I would definitely say relationships like marriage. Giving yourself grace. That's the third one. Learning how to treat yourself as if you're like you're your own best friend. Recognizing that growth is slow. Small daily actions compound over time, and how mistakes shape us and the stories that we tell ourselves. You know what I can tell you is doing this work with men for as many years as I have, men quit the alliance because of these reasons. They,
Really?
oh my gosh, big time. So I can't even tell you how many times like a guy he'll be in our group. You know, he comes to our group to, you know, work on patience with his kids or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then he has a blow up, right? And by the way, just because, like, who's your favorite pro athlete? Just anyone.
Oh gosh. I honestly, I
Any sport,
think
any athlete.
the one athlete I really grew into in like middle school and early years of high school was Steve Prefontaine because I loved running.
Right. Oh, great example,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, an old school one too. So he was one of the greatest runners ever,
yeah,
right?
and the
For the time.
state, like, was it Oregon?
Oregon. Yep.
Yeah,
Um, Broke records.
yeah, all to the Munich Olympics.
Went to the Olympics. He was really like identified as he was going to win the gold.
Yeah, he was a legend.
But did he?
No, he didn't.
No. And he won a lot of races, right?
Oh yeah,
But he didn't win every race.
those tiny little like, I mean, those were pretty big races that he lost.
Oh, they were huge. Yeah, but the thing is that the thing about Prefontaine is his losses would infuriate him
Oh yeah,
to go harder,
oh yeah.
right? But like what I see a lot of times is losses will be the end for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, I think one of the cool things about we call it patience with ourselves, but I think it's also some grittiness with ourselves, like not allowing ourselves off the hook. In other words, like so take I love that example, the Steve Prefontaine example, because like that was a guy. So he had one leg longer than the other. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes. Not by much, but enough. He was short, right? So he was little. He wasn't tall. Didn't have this crazy
Well,
build.
the movie I saw, it was a mockumentary, a movie documentary
Yeah.
about it. It was like all the people that grew up around him and had him as a coach, and um, but they also used a lot of like acting to like recreate the stuff. It was Jared Leto that
Jared Leto. Yeah.
used his part.
Yeah.
Um,
He but the real Steve Prefontaine, like he was short, little guy, one leg longer than the other, didn't have a great stride, and like
what?
no, he didn't. He did not have a great stride. Like a lot of these runners, man, especially like these long distance runners, like if you watch them run, they had like these really long
Oh yeah, I've
Like these
seen him.
strides, like
Whenever I did cross country, my one of my friends from the team actually sent me a college cross country video. I was like, I could never do this.
yeah,
Their mile time is like 5 minutes. I can't even do that.
yeah. I mean, they go so fast, but like if you look at Prefontaine's stride, it was interesting. Like it wasn't like ugly, but it wasn't like some of
Like a
these.
pro athlete, cross country runner.
Well, I mean, some of these like long distance runners, they ran like freaking gazelles, man. Like it looked like they didn't even like have any friction. They would just glide through the air.
That's crazy.
But like, but going back to what I was saying, the self-criticism trap, the impatience with progress, giving ourselves grace, recognizing that growth is slow and making mistakes. I see more dudes trip up on those things right there, and then they completely quit growth altogether because they're like, well, it's just not worth it, or I should just stop trying, or
Mm.
a lot of it actually boils down to they just don't feel worthy. And here's, what's funny about this? Like, I know we're talking about patience, but if you're really thinking about like if you have a life goal, whatever it is, like your life goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be a firefighter tomorrow?
Gosh, no.
No, but
I
it's
don't even think like even if I had that, I was like, whoa, I'm not even close to ready at that point.
well, I mean, it's gonna take time, right?
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
training and it's gonna take learning. Like you have to learn like
I have to go to school for it.
school for it. I mean, even paramedic training. I mean, dude, that's like it's like mini medical school
Oh yeah, it's
right
like
there.
medical school in a truck. Except once they get to the hospital, like, all right, you take care of them. We'll see ya.
It's like a food truck for medicine.
What flavor of medicine would you want?
We have a bed back here. Are you tired? No. But these things are really, really important for us to have patience with. Have you ever heard of the term, Bernie, no, stay outside? He's like, but I want
This is a dad
no.
show.
But so have you ever heard of the term zooming out?
No, I don't think so.
Can I teach you something?
Yes.
Okay. So there was this book that was written by a guy named Ethan
I wrote it.
Cross.
Oh,
Was his last name?
I wrote it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I didn't.
Wonderful comedic timing, though, by the way. So yeah, Ethan Cross wrote this book called Chatter.
Really?
Yeah, and it's all about the inner voice. It's all about our inner conversation with ourselves
Really?
and all the gnarly, nasty things we say to ourselves.
Yeah.
So get this, get this. What was the last thing that you kind of screwed up on and you came down pretty hard on yourself?
The last thing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let's fill out of the chair. I almost lost my patience and fell out of the chair.
If you were falling out of a chair, that probably would have lost your patience.
I probably would have.
I guess the most recent thing I can think of is I tend to get a little frustrated on some small stuff between me and my girlfriend. But
Should we bring her in here to talk this over with her?
I don't know. She's playing video games, so
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. But like, go ahead. So like, last thing that maybe you really came down hard on yourself. Like you're just like maybe you even kind of talked to yourself really really poorly, quietly, and no one heard it. But like, gosh, like what is wrong with me? I'm so dumb. Like, what was I thinking? Like things like that.
yeah, that's kind of how it went. Whenever I was it's whenever it's so stupid. I know it's stupid. It's just sometimes whenever I'm having a moment, I tend to, I get a little impatient and stupid stuff and small things just kind of get on my nerves and I start to like kind of snap at Megan sometimes. But I never mean it. So,
So what do you say to yourself? What's the conversation you have with yourself that nobody else can hear?
well, sometimes while she's telling me about this stuff and bringing it to my attention for us to have a conversation about, sometimes I will literally be like, "Gosh, are you kidding me? Why would you do that? That is so like childish. You're stupid for that."
You say that to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
That's, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much what I tell myself.
So let's just say one of your very best friends did the exact same thing, right? And he came to you and he was like, or let's just say, let's just role play for a minute.
Okay.
Let's just in a make believe world, I'm your best friend. Okay, like, and we're the same age.
Okay.
And I come to you and I'm like, dude, Ethan, can I talk to you about something? What would you say?
Like, yeah, sure. Are
Of
you kidding me?
course.
Of course you can.
Of course you could, right?
You don't even have to ask.
I know. It's like, of course, man. Like, what do you got, man? Because, and why do you come to that conversation, or why do you respond in that way? Like with that kind of energy is very welcoming. Why do you do that?
Because I feel honored to that they came to me for something that they needed to get off their chest or just for any kind of advice.
So let's get that straight real quick. It's not a burden.
No, it's never a burden, especially I always tell I tell all kinds of people in like my friend group or even in like literally anyone. Like you can talk to me. I don't care. It's not a burden. If you try and hide it and you try and say, "Oh, I'm fine," it's more of a burden for everyone around us as well. You remember us talking about that? Like the more you keep it to yourself, the more it's a burden for everyone else because we don't know what you're dealing with. And then once you explain it, we'll understand it and we'll give you a little bit of grace.
So let me get this straight. So someone comes to you, they're carrying something. You're going to meet that person with grace,
Uh huh.
right? Like, man, I'm so glad you came and talked to me, right? And this is not only going to help you, but it's going to help everybody else around you. So yeah, like, what's on your mind, right?
Yeah.
Now let's just say I come to you with the exact same thing, and I'm like, dude, me and my girlfriend just got in a really bad argument. I said some things to her that I probably shouldn't have, and I'm really stressed out over it. What would you say?
Um. Well, I would kind of ask like, well, what's the whole situation? Like, what was it about? And I mean, I guess an example is well, I don't know, what's kind of a good example?
So let's just say she let's just say we got in an argument and I raised my voice to her, lost my patience, and just kind of was very snarky to her.
Yeah. Well, I'd really just be like, well, did you beat yourself up for it? Like, I'd ask because I mean, I do that too. And I would probably say something like, listen, it happens all the time. Like, everyone deals with like impatient, like their patience gets tested with anything. Um, and I totally understand how you feel. I've done it plenty of times in my relationship. But one thing I do is I tend to beat myself up a little bit. I'm sure you do too. Um, but what I would do is I would process it and then I would go back to her and be like, listen, I'm sorry, and just apologize. You know what I kind of mean? Does that kind of help?
Yeah, so congratulations, you just experienced zooming out, except for I'm not your best friend, you're talking to yourself.
Uh,
Right. Yeah. So this is zooming out, what we just did. So here's what you just proved. You just proved what every man and what probably every human being, I mean, this is a dude show, so let's just talk about guys, but like you just proved what every man is willing to do and what he's willing not to do. When somebody else other than ourselves is going through a problem, even if it was the exact same scenario as we're going through, we would meet that person with so much patience, with so much grace. We would build them up. We would talk to them. We'd allow them space to talk about their feelings, and then we'd help them regroup, recalibrate, and then go fix the situation, right?
mm-hmm.
But we don't do that to ourselves. We actually do the opposite,
Oh my gosh.
right? We beat ourselves up senseless, right? And here's the thing, we wouldn't even think about like, so if I'm your best friend, you shared the words that you shared, that you say to yourself, like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you patient? Like all these horrible things, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't there wasn't even a thought in you that you were going to say that to me.
No.
No, it was nothing but positivity, right?
Yeah.
But when you're talking to yourself, you just beat the snot out of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So zooming out is this. Zooming out is like you just had a bad moment, right, with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Zooming out is where you actually imagine yourself sitting next to yourself, and you are basically not venting, but you're sharing what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then you meet, like, basically you're sitting next to yourself, you picture yourself, you put your arm around yourself, and you're like, hey man, like, dude, this stuff kind of happens, man. So like, this is what you need to be thinking about. This is probably what you need to do to fix it. Like, you're human, it's gonna happen. Like, now just go and repair it and go do this, right?
Yeah.
Versus like, what's wrong with you? Like, why do you always do this? Like, you're stupid, you're this, you're that. Instead, you literally, you pour the words into yourself that you would pour into your best friend. Like, why would you pour all those positive words into your best friend and not do it for yourself?
I guess I've never thought of that actually.
Right, because we never do. Now here's the other thing
That's
though.
weird why
It,
we do that.
it is. But here's the other thing too. We don't want to let ourselves. I think that the part of us that don't do that is because we don't want to let ourselves off the hook. Because if we do that,
Oh yeah, like
then it's okay, right?
yeah, I do that because I'm also like, don't do this ever again.
Yeah,
Kind of thing. Like you should know better. You've been taught better than that.
right.
So
Yeah, but it's more of a conversation of what's the right next thing for me to do. I'm not going to sit here and berate myself and put
you
myself down and insult myself. Like, what do I need to go do to fix this? Because beating myself up mentally, emotionally is not gonna be the way out of this.
what? It's not crazy.
No. You know what? If you tell yourself that you're terrible, you know, so many times, sooner or later you're going to believe it. Very true.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I remember the first time you actually told me about that, like the whole like I can and I can't do this. I remember when you said if you believe you can't, then you won't.
It's
If you
true.
believe that you can, then you will.
It's very true.
Yeah,
I truly believe I won't skydive.
I believe that you will.
I believe I won't.
I'm going to make you.
I'm terrified to do that.
You said it once.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I don't even know if my knee would be able to take like an impact like that. I don't know. I mean, you see those people hit the ground and it's just like boom.
Well, you'd be strapped to someone
I
for the first
know.
time.
I would tell the person, I'd be like, look, you nail this landing. I'm gonna keep my legs up.
You're the one that's supposed to pull the cord.
I'm just not doing that. Like
Oh,
what's
okay. Then I guess we'll die.
there? Seriously, like there's no point in me skydiving. So I'm just gonna have my eyes closed the whole time. So there's that. Anyway, so
This guy's a chicken.
yeah, I am. So you just let's go back to the topic. You just learned what zooming out is. So here's what I'll tell you. Like we admire like these pro athletes, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, Steve Prefontaine still lost races. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest fighters of all times, still lost fights. You know, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, like Evander Holyfield, even Jake Paul at some point is going to get his ass beat.
I hope so.
I'm blessed. I hope so too. But he's going to lose at some point for crying out loud. But it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, like we even look at someone like Tom Brady, who's 7-time Super Bowl, literally the greatest quarterback in football history, doesn't make every pass, doesn't make every handoff, like
Well.
screws up, right?
Oh yeah.
But the thing that I always want to point this back to is, and I'm talking to members in the audience too, is why is it that we were able to give people like that so much grace and allow them to bounce back, but we give up? Because I see this a lot. I see guys give up on their fitness goals. I see guys give up on their marriages. I see guys give up on, trying to be more patient with their kids. They're just like, it's not in the cards for me. I see guys give up on trying to be better communicators because they're just like, well, it's just, I keep screwing up. It's not for me, or anything like that. Even guys who are like who have financial goals, right? And they might screw up. They'd be like, well, it's not for me. And they'll give up. And that really,
That's crazy.
it really saddens me because the thing is that, you know, we teach the opposite to our kids. We're always teaching them to never give up, no
Yeah.
matter what. But yet we have a tendency to do that when we don't have the patience for ourselves. Like it's almost like we can't stand the screw up. So the best way to not screw up is to not live life all out and fully.
Oh yeah.
Like play it as safe as you can, just
Comfortable.
comfortable, quiet, whatever. That's just not fun.
Yeah.
What what advice do you have out there for guys like who I want to hear this from a 19-year-old, a 19-year-old giving grown men some advice on patience and grace for themselves? What would you say? And by the way, this needs to be balanced with you can't allow I don't think to get too loose on this either. Like you can't be like, oh yeah, I know I'm not I have a goal to not drink, and I know I've drank for 60 straight days telling myself that I wasn't going to do it. Like I think at some point you do have to like give yourself some tough love and give yourself a kick in the rear end, but
Oh yeah.
I think guys can decimate their progress. Also, like there's another extreme to this. We can completely decimate our progress if we don't take this with a grain of salt either.
Yeah. I guess with patience, for my advice, I think it all depends. Most of the time, I think it's more towards like how the day went and having to come home and deal with everything else. or um, a bad game for like younger folks, um, like kids who have a bad game, like Mason, he'll get pretty upset and he'll have a like a tough time holding on to patience whenever he has a tough game. Um, I think it all depends, but I think it also like, and I actually have done this before. And I worked at an auto shop, and trust me, whenever there's something that doesn't go your way, it's really upsetting and very disappointing, and you just want to throw something on the ground and say I quit and just be done. It takes a lot of patience sometimes to be in the automotive industry. Sure, I didn't do much in an auto shop, but there were some annoying things that have happened to where I just like I'm done. I hate this. I hate everyone here. This is stupid. I've That was just me losing my patience though. Um, what I would do is if I had a really hard day at work, I would come home and a lot of things sometimes would bother me. What I would do is I would take a deep breath and just be like, I need to remove myself from the situation, but I'm not going to be like driving away. That's not my thing. It could be your thing, but it's not my thing where I like go for a drive. No, that's not my thing. Or maybe sometimes I will go to the gym, but very rarely will. Sometimes I'll just be like, I need to relax. Work is over. I don't need to worry about it anymore. I just need to just take care of what I need to here. I guess that's kind of my advice. It's just kind of regrouping yourself before you lose it.
I think regrouping is a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially you mentioned there when you have a bad day.
Yeah.
I just did a podcast actually it was a couple weeks ago on the Friday show, and I talked about the importance of when you have bad moments or bad days, or it's the we call it the transition.
Yeah.
So it's like I used to talk about this like 10 years ago on podcasting because like most people would drive to a job. So like they could really like a lot of guys could use that commute home to transition.
Mm-hmm.
But now like so many people they're at home. So it's like I even on the podcast I was like, man, if I have a bad day at work, I'm 5 feet from my family.
Yeah.
Like I'll walk out of this office, 5 steps and be toe to toe with one of you guys. And it's like
Yeah.
there is no transition sometimes unless I make myself transition. But you're right. I think anytime we're really challenged with some internal factors like we're talking about, like that transition or that regrouping, like you're talking about, is so important. And it's not to catastrophize. I think when guys are faced with something big and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really tough or whatever it is, like maybe you just lost your stuff, like your crap on your kids or whatever else. Instead of regrouping, and instead of thinking it through, we quit. We're just like, well, forget everything because we're very extreme. We're just like, just screw it all, and we'll just like kind of give up. So like, I think that keeps us from giving up. Let's talk about external factors.
Okay.
Cool with that. So I'm looking at this, some things here like, oh yeah, traffic,
Oh gosh.
lines, delays, small frustrations that reveal bigger patterns,
So you
right?
kind of mentioned some whenever I was talking about like how I worked in an automotive industry. Like a lot of stuff would just not go my way sometimes.
Yeah, the external stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
things fight you. A lot of people like to use that terms is this is fighting me or the day is fighting me.
Yeah.
Relationships. We talked about that a little bit on the first one here, but patience with spouse, parents, siblings, or your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Oof, opportunities.
Oh man.
Waiting on doors to open instead of forcing them. So it's like I know, like right now, like there's a lot of things you want to do. You want to go and volunteer as a firefighter. You want to go
Yeah.
and do some shadowing, and you're just like, and you have to wait to get that green light, and you're just like, ugh, when is this going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Um, Life transitions. So patience through seasons like college, career, marriage, like those things are big.
Oh, I have one. I mean, we're gonna dive in deeper into this, but I just transitioned to a new job, and I've learned from getting jobs, the hardest part is getting started because you have to learn a whole new process that they have and a whole new training system, and it sometimes is very annoying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. Anytime you have to learn something new, I mean, think about it. You're actually creating more. You're actually creating new neural pathways. You're actually wiring the brain to new things. So
Yeah.
it's just like a muscle. It's just like doing bicep curls. They burn after a while.
Yeah.
So here's another one: how impatience can actually hurt connection. So like snapping at people, rushing or withdrawing, or being cold or distant. So these are the external things, and I'll tell you, the external things always impact the internal because like I don't know about you, but like even this first one where it talks about traffic or lines or delays, like I'll sit there and I'll be in a rush for something, and this is what I'll do. Like the external thing will turn into negative internal chatter. So like it'll look like this, be like, God bless. Like, why is this light taking so long? I gotta get to church, right? And then it's just like, why do lights always have to take so long? Why can't I be more patient when it comes to light? Why can't we just leave a little earlier? It's because our kids are slow sometimes, or I'm slow, or whatever else. The morning was just rough, and it's just like, and before you know it, you're like 60 seconds, 2 minutes into like this heated negative Nelly argument with yourself that nobody else can hear, and you're pissed at the world. Does it sound familiar?
Yes.
So yeah,
No.
no, yeah. So, but it's these external things like, I, but lately, like I've learned, you know, things that are in my control and things that are like outside of my control. Like so, I can't control stoplights. I can't control traffic. I can't,
Control the controllables.
yeah, control the controls, but I can't control my response,
Yeah.
right? Even though sometimes I'm absolutely terrible at it. But at the end of the day, we have control over that response. Like it's not the delay, it's our response.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like talk to me about some of the things that are external that for the life of you, you're just like this thing just drives me crazy. What is it?
Oh, let me think here, because it's a lot of stuff, but I don't want to dig too deep into something I've already pretty much mentioned. I'd say the one thing that tends to bother me the most is homework.
I was gonna say school,
Yeah,
for you
schoolwork.
because it's kind of a for you right now, it's like this necessary grind that I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you were just like, oh, I just don't want to do this. Like,
Yeah.
just get me to work.
Yes.
That's all I want to do. I jump over the learning part. Let me go work.
Yeah.
But and
Because
that's
right
that's
now,
that's again, that's a patience thing.
yeah, like it's such a process. But I understand with this process, I have to be patient because, and like I said, I'm not ready for a lot of stuff in this world, but this first step for getting started is annoying because I have to take medical terminology and learn a bunch of medical terms and memorize them and know how to pronounce them. It's pretty annoying, but I need to use that in that kind of industry. I don't have a choice. I absolutely need it, and I have to have the patience for it. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, I just want to be on an ambulance or I just want to be on a fire truck already. But yeah, it's just like I just want to get there.
You want to get there, but like I'll tell you, like I think that everybody wants to get to the next chapter,
Yeah.
right? And I'll never. I can't remember who said this, but we used to talk about like people talk about the good old days. Do you and your friends ever talk about the good old days? Like
Yes, I actually today before we started recording, I so on Snapchat, kind of like Facebook, it'll do this thing where it'll pop up like a bunch of memories from like a couple of years ago, and I sent a bunch of stuff to old friends. Like, man, do you remember this from like freshman year of high school? Man, do you remember this from middle school? And they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I do. That's crazy how fast time went."
yeah, it it does go by fast. So
Yeah.
like, can I blow your mind right now?
Yes, you did it.
There you go. Congratulations. Right now, you're living in the good old days. But you don't see it because right now you're focused on the next thing, so you're not focused on the now. So you're focused on like graduation, the firefighter, like the paramedic. When right now you're kind of like think about this for a second. Right now you're 19, you're living at home, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about rent right now. You don't have to worry about paying for your own food. Like
Not yet, at least.
you can work a part time job, you can go to school, you can get your, and you can kind of like I know life is not easy, and I know it's not sunshine and rainbows, but right now, believe it or not, life is about as easy as it's ever going to be right now,
Especially at my age.
especially at your age. So, like, 3 years from now, when you have a house payment, you're paying for a car, you got a full time job, you're a firefighter, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like that was like so much fun. Like I know just working part time, going to school, like getting in the car, going to Mizzou to visit my friend, and going to
Well, that part's not bad.
just stuff like that. Like that, these are the good old days, but you can't. Most people don't see the good old days in front of them because they're so focused on like the next thing that they're trying to achieve within the next 3 to 6 months. But if I could give you any advice that will help tamper that patience, it's to just find some of the joy in the now.
Oh yeah. I will say I am I do have a pretty good life right now. Um, just like what Ferris Bueller said, if you don't stop and every once in a while and look around, you could miss it.
That is so true, man. Because like, I mean, even look at Matthew Broderick, like the guy who played that part. I mean, I think that was 1984, 1985. That was
Yeah,
40 years ago.
yeah.
Like
Life
Matt,
moves pretty fast.
yeah, man, he was like a teenager, really in his 20s or whatever when he did that. And now he's like, I think in his 60s.
Yeah, he's got gray
He's
hair.
got gray hair, and you're like, oh my god, like,
I didn't realize he played in the B movie.
and yeah, he did. But like, seriously, like Ferris Bueller is like 60 something years old. Like that guy was a badass teenager back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So like, hanging out with Cameron and his dad's Corvette or Porsche, or
It's a
whatever. the hell.
Ferrari.
Ferrari. It was a Ferrari. That's right. Oh my god, that's right.
How do I know that, but not you?
I know. God, I
You
should.
grew up on that
I
movie.
did. All I know is All I know is Cameron was just as terrified of his dad as I was of my mom.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, like I was always terrified of the wrath of like just shit going wrong when I was a kid. Yeah,
Him in the back of the car.
yeah. Well, let's put a bow on this show because let's talk about let's talk about just certain angles. So like all right, let's wrap the show with this. What have you seen in me? And we're gonna go back and forth with this. What do you see in me when I'm patient versus impatient?
When you're patient, um, I can tell when you're trying so hard to be patient, but it works.
Yeah,
Um, but when you're patient, I can tell like you don't yell, you don't like raise your voice when I can tell like something's bothering you, but like you're just like it's okay, we're gonna get through this. We got this. Let's just keep moving forward. But when you're impatient, you kind of lose your temper. Things, small things get to you, and you let it bother you.
yeah. And you know why?
Well,
All the advice I was trying to give you about like not talking terribly to yourself, that's usually what I'm doing.
do you remember when we talked about ownership, extreme ownership? Do you
On
remember
the
that?
podcast?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
And I mentioned the story about how I sent an email to my teacher about me not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned the part whenever I was in fourth grade and we were working on a math study guide for me, and you got really mad and I left the room, and then at dinner time you said, and Mason exposed you by saying, yeah, when you left, Dad said he was a terrible dad. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Do you remember when we talked about that?
I do. Yep, I totally remember that.
And then I said to you, why would you say that to yourself? You shouldn't say that to yourself.
I don't even remember how I responded.
You literally looked at me and was like, yeah, I said that.
I did.
Yeah. And then I was like, you shouldn't say that about yourself.
Well, the internal dialogue was coming out in the
External.
external. Yeah.
Outternal.
Ah. We just made up a word. It's the outternal. There's some medical terminology. Hey, doc, this guy's blood is outternal. You might want to.
He's bleeding outternally.
Fire that ambulance driver immediately.
He can't be trusted with medical terms.
All right, so now here's a question. What do I notice about you when you're patient versus impatient?
What do you notice about me?
Yeah,
Whenever I'm patient?
and impatient, yeah. So
I don't know.
I'll give you an example. You can ask Mom this.
Okay.
I always knew before you went out on the mat if you were going to win or lose.
Oh,
I
well,
well, I did not. I should rephrase that. I didn't always know. I had a pretty good
you had a
intuition.
pretty good
I
idea
had a pretty good idea
based on my body
on
language.
your body language and the things that you were. I could tell what conversation you were having with yourself by the look on your face, like when you were getting ready for a match.
You want to know what I was thinking to myself whenever before I get on the mat?
What?
Nothing. I tried to silence everything
Okay.
because I didn't want it to distract me.
Yeah. And I think maybe there were times where I saw that and I was like, he's got it. He's good. And then there were times where I was like, oh, he is all in his head right now. Like he's lost before he's even gotten out there.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, I mean because like there would be times where I would see you even I would be up in the stands and I would see the way that you would walk, like
Oh man.
the way you would pace because you would always. I mean, I would do it too. I would pace before my meets, like in high school too.
Yeah.
But I could tell by your walk, and so could mom, if you were ready to rock and roll or not. Like
Yeah.
if you had patience and grace, or if you were beating yourself up mentally for that. Like I could actually tell in your body language, and like the the times where I actually saw that you did the best in your wrestling matches is when you were the most relaxed. It was almost like, I don't want to say you didn't care, because there was always fire,
Oh my
always
gosh. Yeah.
fire in you. But like, it was like, but there was also overwhelming feelings of like, I don't want to go out there and lose in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then that would kind of like eat you up. So I would notice that. And the other thing I noticed, here's another thing. And I wish so badly that you didn't do this to yourself, because I did this to myself and it didn't help a thing. School didn't come easy to me. School doesn't come easy to you. And both you and I we tend to have a really short fuse with ourselves when we're not learning something as quickly or as efficiently or as effectively as we think we should.
Yeah.
And we beat ourselves up. And I'll tell you, like, that doesn't it doesn't help anything. Like nothing. Like even like you think like, oh, you should be, it just doesn't. It actually creates more, in my opinion, more distraction. It actually gets in the way of more learning versus like, okay, hang on. All right. Regroup. All right. Let me try this one more time. Versus like, what the hell? Like, I am just so dumb. Like, I am just not a school person, or I'm terrible in math, or I'm not good at fractions, or like those types
Third
of,
grade.
right.
Grade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I had to use ChatGPT the other day because Lawson, your sixth grade brother, is like, Dad, what is the base of a parallelogram? And I'm like,
The bottom.
I had to
I don't
ChatGPT, and
get
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's one of the sides, but I don't know what side. And so he and I were talking, and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm not the guy to help you with geometry. I'm just not. And I was like, you know how often I've used parallelograms my entire life? He's like, none. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I was like, but
only in school like
right.
20 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much. I did tell him this though. I said, listen, he's like, why do I have to learn this then? I was like, well, think of it this way. There are some people out there, man, that just love puzzles and shapes and angles, and they want to build things.
Carpenters use geometry.
They do. That's what I told him. I was like, if you're going to be a carpenter or an architect, or you're going to go into any type of construction, you need to learn this stuff.
Yeah.
It's if you build something wrong, it's going to crumble.
Yeah.
And it's all about angles and shapes and that kind of thing.
You would think our old house would know how to do that.
Yeah, really right. So, let's talk about a few things that we do to help our patients. So I want to ask you, and I want you to think about this, and I'll go first, so I'll give you some time to think.
Wait, just 1 second though. This has something to do with like the whole getting in my head about wrestling. It's on my shirt. Shut up and wrestle. That's literally what I would tell myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just shut up and wrestle.
That's what I would do.
Shut up and podcast.
Yeah, you shut up and podcast.
You shut up and podcast.
You
We
first.
Close this.
Yeah, it's going to be another 30 minutes though.
Right, we shouldn't do that to the audience. All right, so let's do this. Let's talk about ways that we help our patients. So, prayer.
Yes.
You and I are in prayer every day.
Yeah.
Every day we're in prayer. We're in a Bible study. Breathing. That's another one. At workouts, that is.
Oh, workouts are my favorite.
It's a jam, man. Like
prayers and working out is like my top two.
Same prayer. I know so many people journal. I don't journal that as often as I should, but I know that's a good one. But so workout, prayer for you is the two big ones.
Working out, prayer, and whenever it was the season, it was wrestling.
Yeah. There's another one. Just walking. Walking. Like I have this walking pad behind me in my office. I'll walk while I'm on like my Zoom meetings. Go outside, get sunlight for 20 minutes. Like even
Vitamin D.
vitamin D. My coach Frazier always talks about like he's like if you feel like you're in a low spot, get outside, take your shirt off, 20 minutes, walk around the block, and see how you feel. And dude, I there hasn't been one time I've regretted that one. Like you come home and you're like, I feel great. Like 20 minutes, sunlight, walk around the block, let's go, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one too. What about if you were to challenge the listeners with something, like maybe a patience, like the next time you feel like you are ready to absolutely crumble, like you screwed up on something, you're ready to give up on something, what would you advise them to do?
I would advise them to try and find something that you enjoy to kind of. Now when I say distract yourself, I don't mean pick up a bottle of beer or a can of beer or a case. I don't mean beer, I don't mean drugs, I don't mean porn, I don't mean any of that. I'm talking something that will benefit you and the people around you. When I say distract yourself, find something that will kind of get your mind off something for just a second. And it has to be healthy, obviously, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and maybe even spiritually. Pray, walk, um, um, work out, um, go in a different room and just breathe for a minute, and just meditate. You can meditate. Um, Literally just find something that will help benefit you and other people around you. Do not distract yourself with something that will harm you, like alcohol and drugs or porn or smoking. Literally anything.
Yeah, I mean, do something positive instead of something negative. Because,
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Find a way to
find a way to
benefit
do that.
your mental, emotional, and physical well being and spiritual. And if you do it like that, it will also benefit other people's. Yes, there's my girlfriend is dragging my little brother across the room outside the office.
People have asked me, they're like, "What's it like with four boys?" I was like, I just saw my 9-year-old. This is true. I just saw my 9-year-old being drugged in his Spider-Man pajama pants, just Spider-Man pajama outfit across the hallway by Ethan's
It's also like
girlfriend.
4 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah,
So
it's
he's wearing
just
I mean, it's Saturday.
pajamas. It's like the behavior of a drunk person.
And now she's carrying him away.
Now she's carrying him away while the dog's chasing them. This is my house. This is my house.
That's
Hey
my
guys,
girlfriend.
I have an announcement for you guys here. So here's what I'm gonna do. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, you can see my studio, and you can see I have a copy now of the Pursuit of Legendary Fatherhood. The book is officially out as of 2 weeks ago, as of September 16th. It's on Amazon. You guys know. By the way, I want to thank everybody out there for all the pre-orders. Um, I I'm completely and totally humbled by all the pre-orders. Hundreds have gone out. Hundreds.
Hundreds already?
Yes. $9,000 in book sales have gone out. I'm completely like, yeah, I was just like, so I built the landing page. By the way, the dadedge.com/legendary book. I built that so I had that landing page built for $500. And my assistant was like, like, what do you want? Like, how many orders do you think? I was like, I just want enough to pay for the landing page, and get the word out. That's really it. So like $500 in book sales, maybe 1,000, that'd be great. Like $9,000 in the
Holy
past 6
cow.
weeks. Like, it's crazy. So, but I think that there's a rhyme and a reason with that. So like I gave, what giving, not gave, giving, I have 2 courses that I gave with those pre-orders. So one, kind of crazy, right? Today is creating more patience.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the course. I actually created that course about 5 years ago. Creating more patience. It's 45 minutes long. I teach you 6 skills on how to be more patient with yourself and other things, outside factors. So you get that course for free if you buy the pre-order book. By the way, these are signed pre-order books. Like I'm legit, like all of these orders are coming to my house, hundreds of books. I'm actually going to make a video of all of these books and me signing like these stacks of books. And the other course that I have,
Good luck signing all those.
right. The other course that I have, I'm carpal tunnel. The other course I'm giving away for free with the pre-order is Creating Extraordinary Marriage. And in that course, I teach you 11 skills on how to better communicate with your wife, create more intimacy, connection, all those different wonderful things within marriage to improve your marriage. So each one of those courses are $500 each, so it's $1,000 bonus value if you pre-order the book, signed copy for $28. I'm gonna leave the pre-order up until the end of October at least. I might do it to the end of the year. I don't know. People are going gangbusters over this, and I want to honor it. So if you pre-order the book, I'm gonna keep this up for as long as pre-orders still coming. If you pre-order the book, I'm gonna honor those 2 courses for you. Like I said, go to this show though. Go to thedadedge.com/1382 for this show. In there, I'll have a link for the pre-order book, as well as our sponsor today, which is First Form, as always on Wednesdays. Now the dog is chasing your girlfriend around the house, which means we should probably end this show. So like I said, guys, go.
A little out of hand out there.
No, if you haven't pre-ordered the book, go pre-order the book. You'll get a signed copy of the book. You also get those 2 courses for free right away, right after you purchase. It's right. Hey, if you go to thedadedge.com/1382.
Sound like the excited southerner.
Gentlemen, go out. Live legendary. Take care.